everybody, Jody Marketplace Boutique. Today I have pottery. I bought a lot of pottery. I'll show you what I got, how much I paid, and I'd love to show you what you can find too there in the wild and what to look out for. So let's talk pottery. Okay, so I'll show you what I bought. This lot was about, I don't know, $11 or so. Here I have them. I'm just displaying them on my shelf. If I can back up and you can see. Okay, so this is Fallscraft, Yorktown, and you can see by the pattern. And on the bottom, this has a sticker on it. I didn't care, I just left it on. And all this stuff is listed. I thought I'd just enjoy it until it's gone. Blue and white, that's always my favorite color. And then I'm gonna go down here. Now these are all Williamsburg pieces, as you can see. And some of them are marked a little bit different. And you can see by the pattern and also by the way they're made, and you can see this little ridge in here. Okay, so as you can see, some of them are a little bit different colors. I believe these are all Williamsburg. You can tell that these are pottery too, just by the way they're formed. See how that's made, all the ridges? And if you took your finger and you can feel in there too, if you don't have nails on. Here's the Williamsburg on the bottom. I did lightly clean these, but I did not like scrub any marks off because I didn't want to like ruin these. And so there's the stamp on the bottom. That's Williamsburg, Virginia. However, this one, now I believe this is also the same set. This one has no mark, and it has this. So I think this is just a cast off. I think this is one that just had a whoopsie, and so they didn't mark it on the bottom. So this one is flawed, and I think it might have been this one was a little different. This one has a stamp on the bottom, and this one says, oh, that's a heavy one. That one says Williamsburg Souvenir. So I just wanted to show you pottery and what you can find. And now I'm going to pull some comps and show you what kind of pottery is out there that you can get quite a bit of money for. Here's some other pottery I have now that I'm looking down here. This is just my own personal collection that I've got at estate auctions. This is the McCoy. I don't think this one's marked. And it's got a big chip in it. I love the Art Deco lines on that, so I kept it. I can't decide if I like this one or not. So this one is Hull. I think it's Hull and not Hull. I get a little sick feeling when I look at this color. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one. But that's some kind of forms of pottery, and some are out there that are not marked. These are beautiful. I love the McCoy pieces. Usually they're a little bit more expensive. Even at estate auctions, they went for quite a bit. This one, I cleared a table, so I bought the whole table at the end of the auction for $3, and this just happened to be part of it. Okay, so let's go pull those comps. Okay, so here I am in Terapeak, and if you have a store with eBay, this is free. I just typed in pottery, so I didn't type in anything specific other than pottery. And if you scroll down here, you'll be able to see, like, there are pieces of pottery that are worth quite a bit of money. I actually do have one of these Chinese pieces of pottery that's real similar to that, and I'm definitely going to get it appraised. You won't see that one hit eBay though. I'm just showing you here, like, there are some massive amounts of money to be made with pottery with one single piece. Okay, and here's a piece of Yadro Pottery, and as you can see, they're really, really pretty. They're real detailed. And this stuff is really beautiful. It's got kind of a mute. They're real shiny and glazed, but they have a real pastel, I guess, kind of tone to them. So that's Yadro. There's one that sold for over $3,000. And here is some Santa Clara pottery. It's black, as you can see. And this is something to look out for. This went for over $1,000 on eBay. There are collectors out there that do collect. Sometimes these prices might even just go higher than what they're worth. And a lot of times this kind of pottery does have cracks in it, especially if it has gone to really damp, like basements, and then they're brought up and say they travel to Texas where it's really dry. They do get cracking on them. Say most people are not going to use them for like food goods or every day. They're just going to use them to display. That's what that's like, and that's signed on the bottom. Here's some Santa Clara pottery, but I thought this one was pretty. I won't make her face big here. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that piece. It's very, very pretty. And it's definitely textured in those carved out pieces. And here's what it looks like up close. It's definitely got a unique design to it. Okay, so here's a Satsuma pottery vase. And this is what this one looks like. And as you can see, they usually have some sort of like gathering of like noblemen, big dragon going through there. This is definitely something to look out for. And if you run your hand over it, it probably is textured, as you can see. Look at the beautiful details in these pieces of pottery. Can you imagine painting that? Just amazing. All the little pieces of detail. Now you can see why they're worth so much money. And here's the tops. And they have these Chinese designs on the top. And here's the mark on the bottom. So this one was $10,000. These, it says, are almost 200 years old. So they have some wear, which, you know, of course they would have wear. Marked at 10,000 and an offer was taken. So that's a really great find. So here's Nippon Moriage pottery, and this has slipware, as you can see on the outside. If you take your hand to this piece of pottery, you can definitely feel the texture. And they're adding extra pieces of pottery slipware to the piece, and that's how they're making it. It's very detailed. You can definitely feel it when you touch it. This Moriage Nippon is definitely an older piece. So this one's sold for $799.99 with shipping. So here's the bottom. This is what this looks like. I know I have some pieces like that. I'll have to look that up. I know I have some of these. You know, take a look at the bottom and see what it says. And you can tell it's Moriage by the M here. As you can see right here. Here is a Royal Delton whiskey decanter jug. This one sold for $400. Now I would think it's actually probably worth double that. Oh, I thought I had a bug on my screen, but that's on there. That's on their picture. I got scared for a minute. Okay, so that's Royal Delton. There's the mark on the bottom. It's got the lion with a crown. And sometimes I've had pieces that will have the lion on the crown with no other words. So if you have that, I would just look that up and see online if it's the same kind of mark. Here they even still have the stopper. Look at that. You know, a lot of times you'll find these decanters without the stopper. So that's neat. It's a beautiful piece of pottery. It's definitely got some earth tones to it. I've always loved pottery. I think it's just really unique and special, you know, because it's handmade and usually hand painted. It's a little golfer guy in there. Okay, so that one sold for 400. Minton Majellica, and this is a Hogarth 1858 it says. So let's take a look at this one. And you can see with this Majolica, it has a beautiful glaze. That Majolica glaze is absolutely stunning. It looks to like water to me. See how it just shines so beautifully like it's wet? It's just amazing. And these pieces are so old when you start thinking about how long 1858 was. Here it's marked on the bottom, Minton 421, and then it's got some squiggles and some other marks on it. Sometimes also a potter's name will be marked on the bottom. It's a beautiful piece of Majolica. This is $475. Here's another piece of mitten. Now this says porcelain on it. It was fired at a high temperature. Some of them are made out of bone china. These are pretty. So this is marked Minton on the bottom with a crown on the top. 1880 though. They had $2,800 and they accepted an offer. Here we have a Japanese Sheena Bowl. And as you can see from the pottery, sometimes they're very worn. But like I said, these pieces, some of them can be so old. Look at how beautiful the texture and just the colors are in that piece. Even though it's cracked, it's still a beautiful piece of pottery. And these Sheena bowls can go for quite a bit of money. This went for $495. And I'm surprised in the condition. Somebody really, really wanted this one. But just think about the history of these. But that's definitely a really neat piece that somebody found. Here's another Sheena bowl. They actually have their writing at the top, which is amazing. I don't know how they did that, but however they did that, that was really cool. Good job. They don't have that many feedback listed at 900, and they took an offer, and this one's in better condition. This one's gorgeous. Let's see here. So here's the box. It almost looks Delft, like an older Delft look to it. It definitely looks earthy. There's the bottom. They're very rustic looking. Here's another Sheena bowl. Now some of these could look, I guess according to preference, some of them could look very beat up. You know, you might look at this and go, what in the world is that? Just throw it in the trash. Don't throw it in the trash. This one sold for $850. Let's take a look at these pictures. The person that photographed this really did a really good job. Really nice. They definitely have some good lighting. Just imagine them taking the earth from where they lived and making this piece of pottery. You can tell by all the gritty, gravelly kind of look. It's amazing. So this must be the mark, I assume, of the bowl. In a box. Here's another Samsuta vase. These are definitely pretty. But as you can tell here, they usually have gatherings on their pottery. Here's the bottom of that piece. Here's the mark. But if you can familiarize yourself with these, just the way they're made and the designs and the textures of pottery, you should be able to kind of tell without having to look them up. You can use your Google Lens too, which is awesome. This was $3,500 and they took an offer. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it sounds like Makoto Kashima. This is from Japan, a piece of pottery. Look at the bird. Pottery is always interesting. I just love it. It's just very unique. The bird, I love the bird on it. So this looks like a big platter plate, like a serving tray. Over $3,200 this one sold. I need to go look for some more pottery. This is making me want to go shopping. So this is museum quality, huge Japanese. Is it Magi? Gold lacquered Hawk Early Cedo glazed vase. If I'm saying the words wrong, forgive me. $5,700. Look at how beautiful this is. Now, even if you don't admire the design, Look at the quality of these items. They have amazing, amazing quality. And you can see some of these pieces, the pottery was put over the item, like a slipware. Oh, it's got birds even on the side. That's pretty. Okay, so here's a very large antique Japanese Satsuma pottery covered jar. Okay, so this looks like a ginger jar. As you can see, a lot of people also used it as an urn to put ashes in. And it's got a lid here still. The dragon design, very, very, very detailed. So here are the markings. And this is $5,700. That's amazing. Next time you're at a garage sale, keep your eye out for these big, detailed pieces of pottery. Okay, so here's something that I love. What I do buy is the English pieces, and the Staffordshire is definitely one of my favorites. And these dogs sold for $5.59, and these dogs are pottery made dogs. Look at how cute they are. Oh, it looks good on the black background. That was really good. Look at how cute they are. My great-grandma used to have one, and they sold it at a garage sale for 50 cents. Yep. Oh my goodness. I would love to be able to buy that back. I think I would even pay $500 just for that one. If I could ever find that dog again, I would for sure buy that. They usually came in pairs. I need to see them like by a fireplace. Yeah, so these are King Charles Spaniels. Really, really adorable. And these are made in England. Here's another pair. Now this one sold for almost $1,500. These are 15 inches tall. Aren't they cute? Oh, I love them. I love dogs, so that could be why. Oh, they're so adorable. Oh, this is gonna make me go shopping after I'm done with this. These don't have markings on the bottom, but I can see maybe right there. I don't really see any markings. Beautiful Staffordshire dogs. Absolutely stunning. Speaking of stunning, here's a pair of stunning Royal Doulton vases. Now, a lot of people even try to be like Royal Doulton because they did an excellent job at pottery. Look at how stunning this is. This one's beautiful. I love birds and I love blue, so that's absolutely amazing. I wish I found this pair. Look at all the writing on the bottom. So if you see something like this, it could be the potter's mark. These are items you can find at estate sales or estate auctions. $21.62 and 21 cents and $51 shipping. Here is a Staffordshire vegetable covered plate, it looks like. These are beautiful. I love English pottery. $3,800. Here is a Falls Craft 1920s art pottery. This is a matte green vase. I have sold quite a bit of Falls Craft. Keep your eye out for Falls Craft. Just like the one I showed you earlier. I don't know how much I have mine marked at. Not that much. This is a nice green though. I love that minty green. Falls Craft pottery. Nice. Very nice. I love that color. So that sold for $149.99. Italian Majolica. This is a flask and it still has the topper. Look at the detail on that. And here is that pretty glaze that you can see on it. So they wanted $38.50 and they took an offer. Well, the detail's so pretty. Let's see what the bottom looks like. So this one was $4,400. They took an offer. This is Majolica Fish. I have recently seen one of these for sale, and it was pretty amazing. I love that Majolica finish on it. It's very beautiful. They do a really detailed job. I mean, it actually looks real when you look at it. Here's the bottom side. I think a lot of people get their things like I do from auctions, and that's probably like an auction number on the bottom. Mexican pottery. This is dripware Majolica. Very neat. Look at how different that is. Dripware. I've actually never seen a dripware. I would probably look at that and go, oh, that's really messy. Don't look at it, think it's messy, and pass it by. This sold for $400 with $75 shipping, and it was only 13 inches tall. Why was that shipping so much money? Wow. Look at that. The glaze is beautiful. $400. A piece of Mexican pottery by Ortiz. And, ooh, look at how pretty that is. Look at these details. Can you imagine how much time that would take? Look at all that detail. Pottery is definitely like a work of art. And here the potter signed it on the bottom. Looks like Hector Gallegos Jr. So this one sold for $360. A pottery fish, Mexican folk art. And you can actually find stores if you live out west that have stuff like this that were imported from Mexico, or if you're living in Mexico or you go to Mexico and import them in. But there are stores that have a lot of Mexican pottery if you live out west. I know I've bought a lot of this kind of stuff when I lived out there. And you can sell it and make a lot of money. This is kind of neat. He comes off his little pedestal and it's signed there on his back. Very neat. A great display piece. This stuff is great for just that home decor. So this sold for $299.99. This one was $749.99 and an offer was taken. Herman Martinez, Mendoza, Turtles Mexican Folk Art Pottery. Cute. Oh, look at the little babies. Aw. Like baby turtles. Now, I assume this is a candle holder, as you can see the little sticks on the tops. Looks like a candle holder to me. Oh, look at the babies. Cute. So if you're a collector that collects turtles and you really like pottery, I can see this really going up in price. And it looks like it has a really nice like protected glaze on the top too of the finish. So here's a piece of Mayan Mexican pottery that sold for $405. Now if you have something really expensive, if you are not quite sure how old it is or if it's real, you could always get an appraiser. You can use somebody like Dr. Lori. She's really good online, and you can do like phone calls and you can do video chats with her, and that's a really good way to appraise an item if you ever want to know. Here's a ceramic sculpture, Mexican pottery folk art. This kind of makes me wonder if I should take a vacation out west and bring home a truckload. Oh, I do have some that I bought, but it's mine. So here's how it's signed. This sold for $546.24. He's really cute. Okay, so here's Ken Edwards pottery. Keep an eye out for that. Oh, it's very nice. Look at the details. I come across a lot of bird type things around here, but I have not come across Ken Edwards. So if you see some bird figurines at an estate sale, now I don't see this one as marked, so you might have to use your Google Lens for that or do a little bit of research. But this is a Ken Edwards. It's definitely got some detailed, some metallic kind of paint on it. If you find something really good quality like that, you can kind of guarantee it's worth something. This one was listed at $550 and an offer was taken. Oh wow, look at this one. This one sold for $480.75, and this is American Folk Art Tree of Life Pottery Candlesticks. 3 lights. Ooh, look at this. Can you imagine having this sitting on your table in the dining room? Oh, that's cool. That is definitely a centerpiece. It's got these little dollies on it. Or people. Little birds. Do you know how cool this would look at night with just candles going? Oh, it's amazing. This is a really amazing piece. I'm actually surprised it went for so little. I would think it would be towards the $800 or $1,200 range. Look at the details. Very beautiful. If I seen something like that, that would definitely catch my eye. Here's what looks like the bottom. La Moza tile Mexican pottery, 1930s. And here's the antique plaque tile. Here's what the back looks like. Kind of reminds me of a coaster. The colors are always so pretty and vibrant. They're not like a mucky brown, like a mucky color. They look really good. This one was listed at $6.95 and offer was taken. Okay, and here's the last one. So here's the Williamsburg Delft, and this is a transferware. This is a picture. This is the bottom. And this says Williamsburg Restoration, made in Holland, Delft. So this was actually made in the Netherlands. Interesting. So it was made in the Netherlands to look like Chinese or Japanese. That's interesting. I've actually never seen one like that. Very interesting. This piece of pottery has a little bit of history. It's been around to different places. That's neat. So I would think this one was probably made around the 50s, just by looking at this and knowing the history of the areas. I think this is probably like definitely like a 40s or 50s piece. Okay, so that's what I have for you today. And I hope you learned something new and exciting. And I hope you find some awesome finds. And if you're a reseller, I hope you have some great sales. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.